In a darkish and terrifying room, EJ cries on his knees as he claims he doesn't deserve this due to the fact he didn't do something wrong. A mysterious girl abruptly shoots EJ and throws him off her plane. However, even with the hollow in his forehead, EJ opens his eyes. This all began out 7 years ago. EJ is on his manner to an interview at a very prestigious employer whilst abruptly a man runs through a hectic avenue and receives hit through a car. EJ examines on the man. However, he dies as he clutches onto EJ's arm, leaving him very shaken. Later, at some point of the interview, EJ is still going through his trauma and he can't answer something properly, so he doesn't get the job. Having didn't study a job, EJ graduates with a massive scholar debt, so he has to start getting menial jobs like transport man and waiter. His own circle of relatives can't assist him due to the fact his father is useless and his mom is a janitor that already sacrificed lots to offer him an excellent education. EJ in no way stops sending resumes to various companies. However, he time and again fails to get a full-time job. After 7 years of operating part-time jobs, EJ sooner or later receives an interview on the massive employer again. Interviewer Tayu is inspired through the resume, and EJ leaves the assembly with excessive hopes. However, he quickly receives a name from a friend, who informs him that each won the cash they invested in some other friend's deal is long past due to the fact the man disappeared. EJ rushes to his friend's apartment and begins a valve pounding at the door. However, nobody answers. Since the ones have been all his savings, EJ receives livid and begins a valve hitting the door with the hearthplace extinguisher till he falls to his knees as he has a breakdown. Moments later he finally ends up inside the police station for destruction of property, so EJ asks the police officers to arrest his friend. However, they can't do something due to the fact investing in a commercial enterprise that failed isn't illegal. In the nighttime, EJ is going to peer his girlfriend Jisoo, who comes out of an automobile with a man that offers her flowers. Once the person is gone, EJ techniques her, who without delay smells that he's been drinking. She mentions that he hasn't been kept in a position to get a good deal paintings this month and offers him an envelope. However, he thinks of it as charity and realizes he's been not anything however a burden. Thinking their dating won't cross anywhere, EJ breaks up with her. Moments later EJ is going to his apartment, best to find out that the owner has kicked him out and he's retaining the deposit to make up for past due rent. All of EJ's matters had been left outside below the rain, so he has to transport as a good deal stuff as viable to defend it. Sadly, there isn't a good deal room, and while morning comes, he's misplaced lots of his matters. After spending the night time snoozing at the ground, EJ receives a message from the organization saying he failed his interview. After having every other breakdown, EJ decides he's had sufficient and self-deletes inside the center of the city, ignoring the decision from his mother. Darkness takes over for some seconds and then EJ discovers he's in a private aircraft. When he appears at his reflection, he freaks out due to the fact his face has changed, and at that second he notices the mysterious woman sitting nearby. She has his goodbye letter in her hands, however she magically burns it earlier, then setting out her shades, revealing vivid purple eyes. Suddenly EJ is transported to the terrifying room with a tall tower inside the center of a purple sea and demons looking to climb up. The woman famous she's death and she's added him right here to punish him due to the fact he made a mockery of her. She grabs him through the neck and throws him off the edge, so the monsters try and take hold of him as he falls. There are masses of creatures looking forward to him inside the water. However, while he crashes, he wakes up inside the aircraft with the alternative face again. Death is there too and explains that she'll make EJ die 12 greater instances as a punishment. His soul will input the bodies of 12 people going through coming near death, and he'll die regardless of wherein he finally ends up. However, if he manages to keep away from a death, he'll be allowed to maintain that life. EJ doesn't care approximately the one's deaths due to the fact he desires to seize it all. However, after death disappears, the aircraft enters a raging storm. Unconsciously panicking, EJ places on the existence jacket and fastens his seat belt while the flight attendant comes to inform him that it's just a few turbulence. After a couple of minutes of shaking, The aircraft stabilizes and the attendant shall leave EJ alone. Still confused, EJ begins evolved searching around and realizes he's inside the frame of a very wealthy person. Suddenly a sparkling pebble enters his mind, informing him of the information of the person he's possessing. This man is the CEO of the crucial company EJ carried out to, and he's been wealthy his entire existence. Taeyu is his older brother and that they competed given that they have been youngsters over everything, including who might lead the company. All his tough paintings allowed him to win his father's approval and sooner or later he became selected to become the brand new CEO. EJ could be very thrilled with the aid of using this lifestyle and makes a decision he desires to hold it. However, at that second an engine blows up. The aircraft begins evolve happening at outstanding speed and EJ has to stay away from all of the sliding furniture earlier than return to his seat to lock the seat belt. The pilot attempts to govern the aircraft to no avail and the hearthplace spreads, developing a hole inside the facet of the aircraft that sucks out the pilot and the flight attendant. EJ can simplest watches an explosion makes the complete aircraft trap on hearthplace and he's soon burned to death. Afterward EJ wakes up inside the darkest room, that is now a barren vicinity with a creepy glowing door and a table for death. On this table, a clock counts down the lives EJ has left. While Death places a gaggle of bullets in her gun, she explains some things. The souls from the ones our bodies are already useless so EJ isn't stealing their lives, he's just giving our bodies a 2D chance. If he fails to continue to exist in all of them, he'll visit hell, and Death makes a decision to offer him a preview. She grabs EJ and takes him at the back of the door, wherein he sees indescribable horrors. When Death takes him out, EJ has his breakdown, returning to the beginning. He doesn't apprehend what he did to deserve hell. So Death says he's responsible of finding her earlier than she may want to discover him. She additionally well-known shows that relying on his actions, if he survives in one of the 12 bodies, he may also keep away from going to hell. EJ makes a decision he'll attempt to continue to exist after all and Death shoots him to ship him into the second life. He unearths himself falling from an aircraft in a new frame carrying a sports activities jumpsuit however without a parachute. As he panics, he sees 3 different guys jumping with him and sporting cameras. A guy catches him to assist him and at that second, the sparkling pebble enters his mind. This frame belongs to an adrenaline junkier who loves intense sports activities and has executed lots of loopy challenges, incomes him 4 Guinness World Records. Today he's doing an assignment that consists of diving without a parachute from 1,000 miles above floor to land on a protection internet. The occasion is being transmitted on national TV, and if he pulls it off, his sponsor will supply him $3 billion in cash. The reminiscence of the sponsor indicates a man playing with a lighter. The concept of such cash makes EJ want to finish the assignment, so he pushes the helper away and starts evolved falling at for a straight speed. The frame misplaced the authentic soul however saved the abilities, so EJ is feeling confident or even excited. When he in the end reaches his destination, he misses the internet and lands at the floor, instantly dying. EJ seems inside the darkest room again, saying it's now no longer honest to be taken into consideration a sinner due to the fact he didn't harm everybody while he self-deleted. Death calls him egocentric due to the fact he can't inform he did harm humans and shoots him to ship him into the 1/3 life. Soon he wakes up inside the frame of a youngster at a faculty and notices a classmate laughing on the video of the loss of life of the parachute man. This tells EJ that everyone those lives belong to the identical reality. He considers hitting him for it. However at that second the sparkling pebble reaches his mind. This youngster misplaced his father on the age of 5 and turned into raised through his unmarried mom, who works tough to pay for his needs. The boy desired to make her proud however he hated coming to high school due to the fact Ginseng and his buddies saved harassing him with violence, robbery, or silly pranks like throwing milk on him at the same time as recording him. However he in no way advised his mom this now no longer to fear her. Eventually the boy felt like faculty became hell and his tormentors had been demons, so he determined to self-delete. EJ realizes that to live to tell the tale he simplest is to pick out now, no longer to self-delete. At that second, Ginseng methods him and reminds him to carry him milk earlier than hitting him. EJ refuses to be a sufferer and chases after him to knock him down with a chair. One of Ginseng's buddies attempts to stop him. However, EJ fast subdues him earlier than pushing Ginseng towards the window, asking him to apologize. Suddenly a person knocks EJ down. It's Tae-sok, a totally robust teenager who immediately overpowers him and beats him down. Then he and his buddy maintain EJ down so that Ginseng can punch him too at the same time as the classmates watch in fear. At that second the trainer arrives, so everyone is going to their place. However, after class, Ginseng and his gang capture EJ to overcome him up again. Eventually even Tae-sok thinks it's too plenty and asks Ginseng to stop. However, he doesn't care and maintains going. However, he sooner or later stops while he sees the woman he likes looking them. Afterward, EJ is going to the boy's domestic and is shaken to peer the images and notes of the guy's mom, making him remember his very own. His mother would depart dinner for him and go to work, which wore out her a lot, so sometimes EJ might be a part of her to assist her out in return. When the boy's mom comes domestic too, she notices her son has higher manners, and EJ nearly cries as he recollects his very own mom again. The subsequent day, EJ tactics Tae-sok with inside the lavatory to invite him why he shall we Ginseng boss him round if he's stronger. So Tae-sok explains that the actual boss of the faculty is a senior pupil whose gang Ginseng belongs to. If they mess with Ginseng, then the older children will wreck them. Later at some stage in lunchtime, Ginseng hits EJ again, so EJ retaliates with the aid of throwing his bowl of noodles on Ginseng's head. While EJ is going away, Ginseng orders Tae-sok to head after him. However, Tae-sok refuses due to the fact he desires to devour lunch. He tells Ginseng to scrub and all people laughs whilst the flashback famous that EJ told Tae-sok now no longer to intrude due to the fact he had a plan. A humiliated Ginseng is going to invite his seniors for assist and the group quickly involves the classroom geared up to fight. However, while the chief sees that Ginseng desires him to overcome up a bit wimp, the chief receives angry, calling Ginseng a coward for now no longer being capable of manage a small boy. He doesn't need his gang to be associated with cowards, so he grabs Ginseng and tells him to by no means method them again. Proud of himself, EJ makes amusing of Ginseng for his loss, and while Ginseng attempts to hit him, Tae-sok hits him first. Now no one with inside the faculty respects Ginseng anymore, and as he rushes out of the classroom, he discovers the woman he likes is with the senior chief. In the evening, EJ is going for a run and is nearly hit with the aid of using a truck. However, thankfully the motive force stops simply in time. Distracted with the aid of using this, EJ doesn't hear Ginseng drawing near him from at the back of to hit him with a brick to make him fall. Then he proceeds to overcome him as much as death. EJ reappears within inside the darkish room and yells at Death, inflicting her to throw him against the wall earlier, then stepping on his face and shooting him again. For his fourth existence, EJ wakes up with inside the frame of a hostage beneath death interrogation. A institution of risky guys throw water on his face and ask him in which he concealed the lady and the cash. When he doesn't answer, they threaten to stab his eye, so he pronounces he'll talk. However, the recollections aren't lower back, but so whilst he asks for a moment, the guys threaten him with a hammer. Luckily the sparkling pebble sooner or later indicates up and EJ learns this frame belongs to a crook company with customers all over the world. They paintings as fixers, which means they'll clear up a client's trouble through any means necessary, which may also consist of murder. One day he fell in love together along with his boss girlfriend, and whilst she noted trying to get away from this existence complete of crime and abuse, he offered to run away together. He stole 10 billion from his boss and concealed them in a secure place. However, on his manner to meet with the lady, he became captured via way of means of his co-workers. Realizing that he has this guy's amazing skills, EJ begins evolved combating everyone, the usage of the chair as a weapon till it breaks. When he dodges an incoming knife, he causes a person to stab his partner. However, after the initial surprise, he continues on combating. There are guns and equipment at the wall, so he turns off the primary mild and grabs a flashlight to combat with an advantage. A fierce struggle with inside the darkness ensues, and one viaduct way of means of one, EJ kills each unmarried agent. Afterward, EJ thinks that with this guy's skills he may want to live on anything, so he needs to retrieve the cash and run away. He retrieves his Telecel smartphone and steals a motorbike to get away, coming across that each one this has been occurring with inside the lower back of a truck. As EJ speeds through the city, his boss learns his guys failed and tracks EJ's region through his cell phone. That region is then dispatched to all of the hunters within inside the area, promising a juicy praise if they capture EJ. Soon a chase starts evolved via the Metropolis Bridge in the retailer's open hearth place on EJ, who dodges the whole lot and hides at the back of a truck. Once he manages to see him at the back of the retailer's vehicles, he makes use of the motorcycle to disarm a guy. Then he begins evolved using like crazy. The different hunter misses his photographs and hits vehicles instead, inflicting plenty of crashes. The truck that captured him additionally indicates up and attempts to dam the bridge. However, the vehicles crash towards it and motive an explosion that EJ clearly jumps over. After leaving the bridge, a gaggle of bikes and a police automobile begin chasing him too. When he's approximately to attain a risky avenue, EJ quickens and reasons a gaggle of the vehicles to crash, blockading the manner for the cop and some bikes. There are nonetheless some bikers following him and greater enemy vehicles blockading the streets, so EJ enters them all and quickens until he's within inside the middle surrounded through enemies. At that second he notices an elevator, so he is going interior and closes the door proper before any other motorcycle ought to hit him. When he reaches the roof, he makes a massive jump and lands in a celebration pool, wherein his phone stops working. Now the enemy can't song him anymore. Then EJ is going to satisfy with the female at the pier. She at once hugs him and EJ senses how lots the man cherished her. EJ tells her wherein the cash is so they can head there. Handiest to be abruptly shot through her, revealing this became her plan all along. Once again EJ wakes up with inside the darkest room, locating Death goofing at him. However, he isn't stricken due to the fact he didn't provide the female the precise region of the cache, so he plans to retrieve it at some point of his next life. When Death shoots him, EJ's fifth life begins evolved in juvie. He's in a tiny mobile and he can't help freaking out. However, thankfully a protect comes over to take him to his actual mobile. On their manner there, the alternative prisoners throw a ball towards the fencing as a threat, even searching at him creepily. In the mobile, he discovers he's were given cellmates and learns that he'll be launched in 4 days. He's additionally advised that a psychopathic killer is staying inside the mobile with them, and EJ notices all of the creepy artwork and books approximately psychopathic evaluation at the shelves. At that second the psychopathic assassin is added again and EJ is stunned to see it's Ginseng. Remembering his preceding death, EJ starts evolved beating him up. However, the different prisoners at once pull him away. At that second the sparkling pebble finally involves his thoughts and EJ learns this frame belongs to an MMA fighter. The guy's own circle of relatives became in a few problem with the gang and wanted cash quickly, so he accepted a deal. He took the autumn for a hit and run and could get rewarded with 100 million after the trial. Since he changed into 18 he changed into nevertheless a minor in Korea. So the plan changed into to fast be released on probation. While making the address the attorney, a guy watched them from the shadows even as playing with a lighter. The man became himself and with the full confession. However, unfortunately all through the trial, the female who changed into hit died, so the Jews sentenced him to years of imprisonment for manslaughter. Later, while the attorney visited him in prison, the man requested for 2 billion to preserve quiet or he might inform the police everything. Another reminiscence indicates EJ the appearance of Ginseng and the way he stated a group of creepy however dumb matters as though he changed into pretending to be a psychopath to scare the others and be in control. Back inside the present, EJ begins evolved laughing as he realizes Ginseng isn't the psychopath. He's right here due to the fact he killed the excessive schoolboy. EJ starts evolved slapping Ginseng as he calls him out in the front of the others, telling them the truth. Ginseng is simply too afraid to disclaim it, and the relaxation of the cellmates beat him up for revenge. When they get day trip with inside the backyard, different prisoners begin bothering Ginseng too, which EJ unearths very satisfying. Later the organization has carpentry training and a prisoner shoots the blade from his notice at EJ, who dodges simply in time. The blade finally ends up bouncing at the wall and killing every other man instead. EJ yells for assist, and after the guards take the injured guy away, all of the different prisoners sees a figure even as telling EJ that the attorney needs him useless. Ji Younger straight away rushes out in worry before combat ensues, and EJ receives to enjoy the body's wonderful MMA preventing skills. With short and unique strikes, he fights all of the prisoners on the identical time.